Riviera Nautic is a charter boat business. It's been operating for nearly 30 years on the Gippsland lakes in East Gippsland. My wife Sasha and I took over the business about 5 years ago. We now run a fleet of 14 charter boats, yachts and motor cruisers, which our guests use to explore the beautiful Gippsland lakes. About 18 months into our ownership of the business, we were just leading into our second peak season. We noticed the water quality was deteriorating in the lakes, and it was very shortly after that that the Department of Environment started to issue notices of blue-green algae developing in the lakes. It very quickly became apparent that we needed to speak to our guests. Certainly there was going to be some constraints on their holidays, but also there was a lot of activities and things that they could still do on the water, so we focused on what people could do. The most important strategy we put in place through this whole process was being the primary point of contact for our guests. What you don't want them to do is to get all their information from the evening news, for example. So it was really important from our point of view that we had accurate information, up-to-date information, and that we were able to feed that through to our guests. Email was a great way to communicate at the time. If it was today, we would be doing a lot more on social media as well. So when they did arrive, there was really no surprises. They knew that there was something going on with the algal bloom in the water. They knew what restrictions were in place, but they also knew that all of the good things that they could still do on their holiday. There was a real collaboration, a coming together of local businesses and the local organisations, the tourism organisations and the regional tourism body as well. And one of the key bodies during that period was our local tourism body, Destination Gippsland. They produced a brochure at the time very quickly, which was the 20 things to explore on the Gippsland lakes, which really pointed out to visitors what they still could do in the region, even though we were faced with this algal bloom event. It's very important in your crisis management plan that you have addressed your cancellation policies, your terms and conditions, and that they're very clear for both yourself and for the guest that's booked with you. In our case, we actually relaxed our terms and conditions a little in terms of the cancellation. We encouraged people to defer their holiday rather than cancel it outright, and that meant that when we got through the crisis event, we had those people lined up and ready to come back and holiday with us, which was very important in our recovery phase. Overall, 70% of our bookings that we had locked in still came and enjoyed their holiday. 20% decided to defer their holiday and 10% cancelled outright, for which we provided a full refund. At Riviera Nautic, we have guests that come back to us again and again. We have great rapport with those guests, and it was very important to us that we keep that strong rapport with them. A crisis event can happen to a tourism business at any time. In our case, it was an algal bloom right at the start of a peak season, but it's really important that when it does happen to you, that you are prepared. Don't bury your head in the sand, don't pretend it's not happening. Get on the front foot, speak to your guests, and keep that conversation going with them to help that rapport and keep them coming in the future.